Hi, I'm here with Marissa Lewis, our current Deputy President of Welfare at Imperial College Union. Hi Marissa, thank you for taking the time to do this.
Hi, not at all.
So what's your job entail?
As Deputy President of Welfare, every day can be quite different. So recently my day's been taken up with a lot of casework, so students that come to you with specific problems about welfare issues, and then you can try and help them out and fix it in certain ways. Other days it's all about campaigning or projects you want to run, working with staff, meetings in college, that kind of thing. It's pretty varied.
That sounds like a really interesting role. And what have you achieved this year? I've heard it's lots of the interesting, exciting things. They've been covered in the media, so tell us more.
You're too kind. Well, I guess the big thing this year has been the House of Lords stuff with the immigration bill. So I've been really involved in that, in getting an inquiry into the STEM committee of the House of Lords, and also I attended the debate of the first reading and the second reading in the House of Lords, which was really good and such a good experience. I've also wrote the residential experience review, which was this awful 64-page document that we wrote in about a week and a half about students' experiences of residences and what they wanted to see the future of residential experience to be. I also ran the Alt Mingle at the beginning of the year, which was a big non-alcoholic event for freshers who maybe didn't want the kind of other offerings that were on the table for that event. And oh yeah, I also ran the Sexual Health Week. So that was another big week of lots of different events, including an It Gets Better event for LGBT staff and students at Imperial, and other fun things related to sexual health and education.
And how do you feel you've kept your manifesto points?
Pretty well. I was fortunate in that after running, a lot of them were done the year before. So one of my manifesto points was to have STI clinics in the union. Those were set up at the end of my third term, so that was one off the list. Also stuff around exam stress. We had the big summer stress less events, which were really good, and which we've continued this year and made bigger and better. Same with the STI clinics, we've promoted them more, got more students coming, and we've made them more of a regular fixture of people's calendars. So I think on the whole I've stuck pretty well to my manifesto, although I'm only halfway through, so I've got some time.
Yeah, you do, and you've achieved a lot. That's good luck for the rest of it. But for new candidates who are running for elections, what do you think that the good qualities would be for a welfare president?
I think it would probably be understanding other people's point of view. So even if you don't necessarily agree with them, you can understand the reasons why they'd have it and respect them for those opinions. Because, you know, at Imperial we've got so many different students from so many different backgrounds and completely different experiences than what I've had in my life. So at certain times you just have to be like, yeah, okay, you're probably right on this. As well as just being sort of patient and passionate, I think is really important, because this job gets pretty tough at times. You can feel really overworked, really stressed. There are certain bottlenecks in the year where your workload just feels incredible, and I think it's just really caring about issues and being willing to fight for them, which allows for, you know, a good year and being able to keep that up.
Sounds good. And what do you generally think about the candidates running for your role?
Yeah, I think that it's a really interesting year, to be honest. There are 3 running for DPW, and they all seem to be bringing very different things to the table, so it'd be interesting to see what happens with that in the elections and what people go for. Looking to see what happens, it sounds exciting. We've also got the Liberation Officers in this year's round, as you're probably well aware.
Yeah, I've heard there are some people running for that those roles.
Yeah. And that's been, because it used to be in the summer elections, for students that don't know, where there tends to be quite a low turnout. And this year they're big, we've got more candidates than ever for these positions, and really incredible, dedicated candidates for those roles, so that's really exciting as well.
Actually, some people might not know about the Liberation Officers that you have, so can you just maybe tell us a quick summary of who they are, or sort of like what they do and people running next year?
Yeah, sure. So Liberation Officers are there to represent groups of students that may be underrepresented either at university or on kind of societal level. So we have the LGBT officer, gender equality, BME, international, interfaith, so on, so on, so on. So I think there are about 8 of them, but don't quote me on that. and they're there to represent students. They will have a seat on council, so they can make their views heard, and we encourage them to run campaigns throughout the year on issues that affect them or their constituents. So, for example, I'm sorry, Nida. For example, our international officer, who this year was you, was really helpful with the immigration bill, and that was a big campaign that went ahead with a lot of support from the officers. So, cheers.
It's been a good year, and I hope there are lots of people running for all eight roles next year, and hopefully it just goes next year for DPW and the immigration officers.
Cool.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for your time.
No problem. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.